Good morning, everyone. And we're just seeing now the 8 o'clock China time. Asian Pacific market is open. That's Singapore, Shanghai. Just getting started. Which way will it go today? We just wait and see. And getting a panel here to start off with. Last night in the U.S. session, we had a high of 43.35. Fell back down. Our low yesterday was 42.72, I believe. 271. Yeah, this is all of yesterday, and this is the day starting here. Actually, the market starts with New Zealand and Australia, but the market that I like to watch is what I call Asia Pacific. That's specific to me is Shanghai, which has a gold exchange, and Singapore, which is Chinese population, and they love trading gold. It's a big market also. So we got that little kick up there, what we call a fake out. Our trend line, I'm a trend line trader. These are my trend lines here. My downward red trend line. If it breaks above that, then I go long. And then my upward green trend line. If it breaks below that, I go short. But I wait for the candle to close. And this first candle is only 2 minutes, and it's on the 15-minute chart. I have to wait for the 15-minute candle to close to see what it's going to do. Initially, the first candle can be a fake out. It looks like it fake you out that it's going to go bullish, and then you jump in and buy, and then it before the candle closes, it turns around and goes bearish. So you got to be patient. Wait for that candle to close. Good morning, Howard. Perfect timing for the breakout. The breakout. I don't know. Breakout to the high side. Well, let's see what it does. Sometimes that first candle can fake you out. I used to trade the 5 minute chart, and I would jump on that first candle and then it'd turn around and go the other direction. That's why I prefer to trade on the 15-minute chart. Give it time to show me what it's going to do with clarity, with confirmation, with confluence. So while that candle is doing what it does there, let's go back and look at yesterday. Yesterday, here's the 8 o'clock, 8:15 candle. And then, so that was very bullish, broke above the trend line there. And I got in long, so I went long on the next candle. That's the 8:30 candle. And it didn't last very long. I had my stop loss down here somewhere below the pivot point, and it, yeah, hit the stop loss. This one here, I didn't see this because I had already gone to the gym and wasn't watching the charts. And then 9:45 candle just, wow, blew out my stop loss and kept going and just kept going down and down and down throughout the day until, after the London session. Even London kept pushing it down, and then, before the start of the US market, it started picking back up. But now at one point that I can bring out to you here, I had this long, okay, it was a good execution. It hit the stop loss, so I paid the broker fee. It happens. No big deal. But what could have done, if I'd have been watching the charts, I could have reversed my trade. I could have reversed my trade, and I would have done. My upward line was across here somewhere, and I could have reversed the trade and then and had a short trade, maybe got this. maybe I would have definitely got some of this, probably would have got out at this, around this support zone. It was probably right about there. But I wasn't watching the chart, so I didn't see that it hit my stop loss, and I didn't see that I could have reversed the trade. So that morning trade was losing trade. And I'll share my losing trades with you, share my winning trades, my losing trades. I'm very transparent. We'll move back over here into later in the session. And then a couple of hours before the US Open, this is 6 p.m. where I live, Indochina time. It's about 3.5 hours before Wall Street opens. It's really started to move up and just kept going up and up and up and up and up and up. But I don't trade at that time. I don't trade in that couple of hours there. So then we had the news, really big news last night, full calendar, and that was non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, all kinds of things. And it was bad news for the U.S. economy. So when it, I don't usually trade the news, I don't very often, but when it's obviously so uh, one-sided. I knew that gold was going to continue up, so I got in right here about 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes after the news started. See that candle, this one here. 3 or 4 minutes after the news came out, I went ahead and went long and made a pretty good trade. Didn't hold it all the way. Held it for an hour or so, 2 hours, I don't remember. So a good profitable trade last night on the news, based on the very one-sided data that came out showing the U.S. economy was not a very good shape. Uh, Unemployment is higher than in the last 4 years. Let's see here. Still got 8 minutes on this calendar. A candle looks like it might stay bullish. Let's go over and look at the forex factor.com. Then we'll go back to yesterday's news, and there we are with that full calendar from yesterday. And you can see there that all of this couple of green items there. The non-farm was a little bit higher, but the previous non-farm that doesn't show on Forex Factory, it shows on investing.com. The previous non-farm was very, very bad in October. November wasn't quite so bad, but the October one canceled out the good one from November. And the key thing here was unemployment rate has increased. This is higher than it's been for the last 3 years, the unemployment rate. So that's what keeps gold up to the higher prices, showing the U.S. economy is not doing very well. That was the one that was kind of the key factor in those news releases last night. 4.6% unemployment rate. Okay, so that's what happened. I don't often trade the news, but last night it was just so obvious that gold was going to go up that it was a given, nice gift. We'll look at today, the 17th, and there's only one item today, and that's the CPI on the UK economy. Comes out 1 hour before the London session opens. So if you trade pound, US, pound CAD, pound odd, anything with a pound, you want to be watching that one. And then tomorrow, we've got some more big news coming out on the 18th, another full calendar, only a couple of items on the US right before Wall Street opens, and that's unemployment claims and CPI. But then during the day, oh, that's something you guys down under. New Zealand at 4:45 a.m. my time. I don't ever watch those. And then a little bit later in the day, before Wall Street opens, a pound, has some items there. Quite a few, one, two, three, four. And then the euro has a couple of items. This is the interest rate on the euro they're projected to not lower the interest rate, keep it the same. So that might be interesting for the euro tomorrow night and just before the US session opens. And go back to our gold chart here. Hey, good morning, Raj. Oh, very yeah, I got a haircut. I was trying to let the hair grow. I was just gonna wait till next year, but I just couldn't stand it anymore. Oh, thank you. And next, after New Year's, I might shave the beard. This is the longest I've ever gone with a beard. So we'll see how next year goes. See how I'm feeling. Yeah, trying to let the hair grow. I just couldn't take it any longer. It's just looking too wild, too crazy. And then, yeah, it's harder to take care of. So thanks for pointing that out. Good observation. Okay, here we go. We got 11 minutes on this candle, looking bullish. Back to my chart over here. Oh yeah, looking very bullish. But the same thing happened yesterday, didn't it? Had a good bullish candle. I went long, and then it came back and hit my stop loss. But that happens. So it looks like the Asian Pacific might be just following up what the U.S. did when the news came out, and based on that, could be. Well, it's quite volatile here, moving quite a bit up and down. 43.16, 43.18 right now, and 8.12. 3 more minutes on that candle. In previous days, I would have already taken this trade, but you guys that follow me, I have made it a key point of my strategy that I wait for close, and that is poured in concrete. That is one of the criteria that must be met. The break above the trend line, so it's definitely a long move, a long trade. Stop loss would be the stop loss I put below the pivot point. Let's let this play out, and then I'll tell you another story in just a minute. 42, I believe I put that at 42.98 if I go long. So that's 43.18, about a $20 stop loss, pretty big stop loss, eh? So I'll reduce my lot size a bit so that I only risk 1% of my account. Oh, I hit a key high there. I'll still go long even though it's pulled back. 45 seconds on this one. Looks like I'm gonna go long. 15 seconds. That's looking pretty good. I don't think it'll pull back in 15 seconds below my trend line. Okay. Yeah, let me jump over to my other 55 here and hit buy. Well, what's going on here? I'm watching it on MT5 on TradingView. Well, it meets my criteria, but it doesn't look so bullish on the 5-minute chart. I'm watching on the MT5. Haven't taken the trade yet. Oh, I'm not so happy with what I'm seeing here. Not so happy with what I'm seeing here. Now it's starting to go. Will it go? If it goes, it's likely to go to 43.38 if it goes. It's looking a little bit better there. Okay, I'll do it. Just hold long. Where did I say I would put my stop loss? At 42.98. 42.98. Oh, that's really a big stop loss. Wow. Still 1% of my account, but I'm going to move that up, I believe. Well, I put it up to 42.99. See if that looks better. That looks a little bit better. I want to even put it up to 4,300 and see how that looks. Okay, stop loss at 4,300. So still a little bit less than 1% loss. And where did I say put my take profit? There's first resistance level, 43.34. So I'll put that at 43.30. 43.32. 43.32 on the take profit. Well, let's see how that looks. This not a very good risk to reward ratio. It's about 1 to 1. Not even. Going to move that take profit up a little bit. 43.34. Get a little bit better risk reward ratio. And now it's coming back down, of course. That's a little bit better. Okay, the trade is done. It's in and it's coming back down, of course. Oh, okay. So we got A, B, C, D measured move long has completed at 43. What are you talking about, Howard? It's a Elliott wave. Good morning, Juan. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining in. Everybody, don't forget to like and share the video. Let's see if we can get more people coming in for next year. Try and build the channel up. Big bullish candle on the first one, and kind of typical that it might just hang around on the next one and then start again. We'll see. So let me show you what I did here with my stop loss and take profit. What have I got there? 40, 334. Okay. Got my stop loss at 43. There we go. I can type. Okay, that's my stop loss. Below the pivot line and well below the safety line. I'm gonna move that up. I was doing it all on the MQ5, and I really like being below the pivot point. That's a support level. That's way below the safety line. I'm gonna move 4305. I want it closer to the safety line and reduce my loss. 4305, 4304. Give it a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Move that up to 4304. Okay, still got some breathing room below my safety line there. Preference is below, but it was a little bit far away. I didn't, still less than 1%, but this, if I can reduce my loss, I will. And my take profit was 43.34, which, that's the first resistance level. So we'll just leave that line there and put my TP right there. And getting quite a pullback here. Maybe it'll bounce off of the trend line. Let's see. But that's all done. Trade is trade is taken, done, all stop loss there. Let's see what we got here for risk reward ratio. It wasn't a long trade, and I took it right there. Yeah, a little bit, little bit better than 1 to 1 because I moved the stop loss. Not much better. 1 to 1.3. Okay, that's all done. Get back and see the comments here. How many pips for the stop loss? 1. Good question. Good question. I don't usually do it so many pips. I like to be 100 pips actually, less 100 pips or less, $10 or less on the gold. And this one was right there. And the stop loss is, and this one is about, it doesn't look right, 136. I don't think so. Let me go to over to MQ5 and measure it a different way and see what I've got. I've got 43 pips on the stop loss. I don't understand the numbers on that ruler sometimes. 43 pips on the stop loss, and I don't really measure the pips. I don't look at the pips, how many pips. It's, generally, I know, for me, the stop loss needs to be below my trend line because I went long. I need to stop loss below my green trend line. This is now my safety line. So if it breaks down and starts to break below my upward trend line, then it's, actually turning into a bearish trade, and so I wanna get out. That's my safety line. So I put it below this green line, but give it some breathing room, not don't put it right on the green line, right on the safety line. Give it some breathing room so if it, breaks a little bit below that and continues up. For me, it needs to prove itself above 43.20. It is a technical pullback level above this may confirm a long bias. Yeah, the stop loss value, I tell you guys, how much do you risk? What is the stop loss? How much are you risking? It doesn't matter how many pips. It's, you shouldn't risk more than 1 to 2% on your trade. And generally, I will only risk 1%, not 2%. And if I can risk less than that, I will. And on this trade, it's 0.7%. Yeah, it seems like we're just holding here. That was a very big bullish candle, the first one, so it's kinda holding here, gassing up the tank, changing the tires, and, you know, getting ready to go again. We're making a pit stop, as somebody said, yesterday or day before. So you joined in on this trade, Raj. Okay, cool. Now you joined in on that trade yesterday too, I believe, but I before you came in, I explained that I got stopped out because I wasn't watching the chart. I had already gone to the gym, and we'll just go back here. Um, took the trade here yesterday on the 8:30 candle, and then I said goodbye to you guys, and I went to the gym, and then about an hour and a half later, it just dropped like a brick, and it hit my stop loss, which was right about in here somewhere, and I wasn't watching the chart from the gym, so I came home and then saw I'd my s my stop loss had been hit. But if I'd been watching it, I probably would have reversed the trade after it broke below my, green trend line and maybe even let it hit the stop loss and then reverse the trade and got a good short trade that played out, all the way until, late in the afternoon before the US market opened. So, and I believe you took that trade also, Raj. Okay, now what I was gonna show you guys was that last night in the, US session, we had the bad news for the US economy, and I did go long because it was pretty obvious that, the data that came out was negative, very bad for the US economy, so it was obvious that gold was gonna go up, and so I went long. I had it actually open on several accounts. I went long on several accounts, but on one of the accounts, I put my stop loss, I think it was 40 4,300, and then the other one, I put it at 42.99, and on one of the accounts, it came down, just hit the stop loss, and then went right back up. But then, I mean, like, it was within $1. I mean, even less than $1. Just hit the stop loss and went back up. But then on the other account, I put it just, I think, $1 less on the, stop loss, and it didn't hit it. So I got a really good trade on that account. Nice good profit on the continuing bullish move. But as you can see here on this candle here, when the news first came out, that's this candle here. It started up and then fell right back down, boom. And then they decided, okay, yeah, we're gonna go bullish, and went for the next couple of hours, very strongly bullish. Before Wall Street opened and they said, "Okay, well, that's a pretty high price, let's just take profit," and it went back down. Anyway, just, I don't, like I said earlier today, I don't usually trade the news, but I saw that it was so obvious that the news was so lopsided toward the negative side of the US economy that it was obvious. It was a no-brainer that gold was gonna go up. Well, having said that, Raj, it wasn't that, go back here and look at it again. It wasn't that, this is the 8:15 candle. It broke cleanly above the trend line, and then, I took the trade on the next candle. So for me, I followed my strategy, but it hit the stop loss. That happens, okay? So, I wouldn't really, I don't tell myself that I was a little bit early. I trusted my strategy, I followed the strategy, and sometimes it goes against you. I mean, if I say, "Well, I was a bit early," what do I do? I wait for the next candle? In this case, I could have done that, but then you wait for the next candle and it just takes off without you. So, you start throwing in too many factors there, and it for me personally, I like to have set criteria. I take the trade, and most of the time it will be a winning trade because I trust my strategy. Rather than throw in something, "Well, yesterday I was too early, so today I'll wait." That hasn't worked for me in the past. So I've been more successful just, "This is my strategy. When it does that, then I do this." Now I'm in profit. Good. Okay, let's see if it'll go. And, yeah, always manage the risk, the stop loss is there to protect my capital, and accept the fact that there will be losses occasionally. If you have a strategy that works, you will still occasionally lose. Nobody wins 100%. Nobody. Now, let's go here and see what kinda leeway I'm getting with my, I don't think it's gone far enough yet to, no, it's only just a little bit of profit, very little profit, yeah. Not even think about putting the stop loss above break even, no way. But I don't have the feeling that, hello, Zachariah from Morocco. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining in today. So the reason I don't feel so oh, wow, this 8:30 candle is kicking it. The reason I don't feel so warm and fuzzy about this long trade is because the stochastic is quite well, it's only 87. It's not that high. And it can stay up here. You know, I told you I don't take a trade based on the stochastic because it can come up here and then just go straight across, stay up there in the overbought area for a long time. So that's not, you know, but I just I see it's overbought. So I think, well, it will come down. You know, over here you see it come down. So anyway, it's just that stochastic oscillator just plays on my head when I see it overbought. Kinda says, you know, "Rick, it's overbought, don't go long." But we can see and that's why I hesitated on this candle here. That's why I was kinda looking at that and hesitating a little bit before I actually pulled the trigger and took the trade. Now this is looking great. Go back over to my MQ5 and see, can I what have I got there? 20. Oh, 23. Okay. Wow, this is looking great, eh, guys? Good execution today. Yeah, I look at that one also, Howard. I look at the stochastic. I have it on all the time frames. I look at it on yeah, I love these no stress trades. I just moved my stop loss above break even. That's a little bit dodgy, guys, a little bit dodgy because gold can come back and hit your stop loss at break even and then go again. It's happened. It's a little bit dodgy, but because I had a loss yesterday, I just want to protect what I've got today. I don't want to lose some trade today. Maybe that's not the correct way to go about it, but if I can, I will move my stop loss above break even to avoid a loss. But this is another big candle, so I'd say we're gonna pull back into the make another pit stop within the next, couple of minutes, maybe. Looks like it's hesitating there now. Yeah, good for you, Raj, but you see that big it's big pullback. Oh, okay, Juan, you can take the profit anytime you want. Nothing wrong with that. You see those dollar signs and you wanna get out. Okay. But it's very, very likely to go to that next resistance level, which is where my take profit is. It's no guarantee, of course, but this is where you work on your mindset. You learn to let it go just a little bit longer, little just hold it a little bit longer, because if it goes up there now, and then that would more than double your profit. So, basically, what you just did was you sabotage yourself, and if you keep doing that over the years, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. But, yes, I agree, Howard, money in the bank money in the bank, you can take profit anytime you want, but as you increase your skills, increase your confidence, you want to learn to hold that trade a little bit longer, because what we're seeing now, this little bit of a pullback, this is very normal, very, very normal, and then it'll go again. Nothing just you never get something that just goes straight up, right? And hit your take profit, just bang, just goes straight to the take profit, and then you're done. That just doesn't exist in Forex trading. Yeah, good. Juan, you're making great progress. Well done. Excellent, excellent. Uh, what was that? Zachariah said something about wanting to learn with me. Yeah, by the way, guys, yes, I do teach also Forex trading. So if you wanna do a course with me, Zachariah, just message me on Telegram, okay, and we can chat and work something out. That's my Telegram ID, @RickRayFX. I do online courses all the time. Students in more than 25 countries all over the world. So just message me what you'd like, and we'll chat and work something out. So I'll go back to my okay. Yeah, that big candle pullback there, looking on the 5-minute chart, that really pulled back, but now it's going again, you see? Now it's going back again. Going back to the $70 where you got out, Juan. Okay. Good, 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 good. Oh, okay. Yeah, we're making a pit stop again. Get back over here to the chart. Yeah, Forex, exactly. XAU, USD, sure. This year I've only most of you guys you follow me. This year, 2025, I only traded gold. Used to, I've been trading Forex for more than 10 years, and I used to trade a lot of different currencies there. Pound New Zealand, favorites. Uh, Traded the major pairs, of course, some minor pairs, the pound odd. The pound New Zealand was my favorite minor pair. That one trends really well. But this year, I've just been very, very focused. I've done a complete reset using only this trend line strategy, only trading gold, only on the trend line strategy, only on gold for the entire year, 2025. And then next year, I'm going to stay with this strategy because it works, guys. It just works. And then I'm going to add one instrument. I might either trade platinum or crude oil. Haven't decided yet. Yeah, we're at the train station. Yeah, now we're going. Got some gas. This is the 8:45 candle. Here we go. All aboard. Just look at platinum. See, platinum is just going berserk. It's setting a new high every day, several times a day. This is crazy. I'm keep moving this all-time high line up. Every time I open the chart, I have to keep moving this all-time high right there. Every time I open the chart, platinum, I have to keep moving the line up. Unbelievable what platinum is doing. And then oil, it dropped down below $55 last night, but it's climbed back up to a little bit above 55 now. And I need to put another line on my chart there. Okay, got another green line there on that one. So on platinum, we don't even have a red trend line. You can't put a trend line until you have a couple of candles with the high, and then it starts to come down like this, but it's just not doing that. You can't put a red trend line, there's no downward trend line because it's just, wow, it's just amazing. Oh, crazy. What's Bitcoin doing? Not much, probably. Go back to our gold chart. Okay. Yes, sir, Zachariah. Of course, if you do a course with me, then I'm gonna teach you this strategy. It's the only strategy I use now. I've used a lot of strategies over the years, guys, and some work for a while, some don't, and it's not really where I just was tremendously happy with all the different things I've learned. But this strategy, I just love it. It just works. It's all I've used in 2025, and it just works. I don't know how else to say it. And so, if you learn with me, I'll teach you several things, but this strategy is my focus. This is my bread and butter for absolute sure. But there's other things you need to know, not just, putting the trend lines. There's several factors you need to consider when trading. I mean, like if you do a course with me, I teach you everything: MT4, MT5 setup, indicators, uh, pending orders, risk management, strategy, everything, so that you can start trading on your own and making income by yourself. Yeah, it's a great strategy, Howard. It really is. It really is. I just love it. It's kind of weird. It's really kind of weird because you from day one as a trader, you know what trend lines are. Okay, they show the direction, up or down. That's easy to understand. But then when you look at it for entries and exits, and it just takes on a whole new perspective when you start to understand how this works in regards to following price action and placing trades. It's really mind-boggling how simple it is and how you just don't see that when you first start trading and you look at what trend lines are. Anybody can put a trend line on a chart, but you need to know how to use the trend lines in this strategy for sure. Now we're going a little bit. What are we getting here? 8:51. Another 9 minutes on this first hourly candle, getting up closer to our resistance there, our take profit, which is at 43.34. And it would not surprise me at 9 o'clock, that's 8 minutes from now, if we get a reversal. Let me look on the 1 hour chart here right quick. Yeah, big green candle. And as I've told you guys many times, it's not unusual that on the next hourly candle, it will do a complete reversal and come right back to where it started. So you need to be cautious of that. It doesn't mean it will happen today, but you need to be cautious of that. It is common. It's not unusual for it to just hit that on the hour, just do exact opposite what it's been doing the first hour. So plan the next few minutes accordingly. Move your stop loss up a little bit maybe, or however you want to manage your risk. Ideally, what we would love to see is it break above this take profit and just keep going. But then you're dreaming and you're hoping, and your emotions come in, and just detach yourself from your emotions and protect the profit that you have right now. However it is that you manage your Pipwise is back. Hey, Pipwise. Good morning. I can't remember where you watch from. We have chatted before, but it's been a few days since I've seen you. Okay, so that's fine, Howard. Whatever strategy you use, if it works for you, then you trust your strategy and you take trades accordingly. So today is Wednesday, the 17th of December. We have 8 days till Christmas. And that means after today, I have 2 more days of trading, Thursday and Friday. And then that's it for me for this year. And that's it for the live channel. And I'll be back around the 7th or 8th of January to start the new year. Yeah, lots of study to do over Christmas. Well, you just enjoy yourself, Howard. Knock yourself out with your study. I'm not going to look at the charts. I'm not gonna watch any videos. I'm not gonna do any of that. I've done that all year long. And so I'm going up to the north of Thailand to spend some time with friends and family, enjoy Christmas dinner, and then I've got some friends coming over from Dubai, and we'll celebrate, in Bangkok, the New Year's. Just get away from it. Wow, look at this candle. This is great. 4 more minutes on this last candle here. Still looking very bullish. And the oscillator is at 88, so not really overbought too much. Let's look on the 1-hour chart, see what the oscillator is. Oh, it's going up. It can go up a lot. It's only on wow, that 1 hour, it's only 67. Okay. So we might get some continued acceleration here up to the TP. The next resistance point, 43.34. I'll stay here with you guys until after this next candle, the next hourly candle starts. We'll see what's happening. It's got some get up and go. It's looking good. And if any of you guys that trade prop firms, remember I use the trading pit, and they've got this silver pass and gold pass that you can buy in December. You have to buy it this month, and that will give you 20% discount on all of your challenges for all of next year. But you have to buy it within December. I made a video about that and how you can purchase it and everything. Yeah, it's like 20 bucks for a silver pass. And then you get 20% discount on all your challenges for the entire year, 2026. Or you can contact me on Telegram if you want more information about the trading pit. I've used several prop firms and I really like the trading pit. They're very supportive. They have a Discord group with 20,000 members. They're very, very strong. Hey, Howard, I get it. I know you love it. You're addicted to the technical side of it. I understand. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're addicted to it. You use the what is it? The Elliott wave, and you got to be addicted to the technical stuff to get into Elliott wave for sure. Yeah, now we're going. Okay, 1 more minute on this last candle of the hour, the fourth 15-minute candle. Oh, yeah, it's really finishing up the hour very strong. Another 10 seconds here. Let's see what happens. Very strong candle here. There we go. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, it put the brakes on right on the hour. It might go up or it might go down. And still looking bullish. I think it really wants to go up there to that next resistance level, 43.34, before it might fall down from that. Yeah, I think so. Hesitating just a little bit. It's only been 2 minutes. Hmm. Oh, that one was. Well, guys, it's doing what it commonly does. So my stop loss is just a little bit below where it is now. Probably going to hit my stop loss. Yeah. And that's about where Juan got out earlier. So could have, Juan, you could have added a little bit more, but you got out with your profit. You did well. Now it's starting to reverse. And it won't surprise me if this candle here, this comes all the way back down to where we started. And that was at 43.12. Big bearish candle already. So yeah, I kept moving my stop loss up because of what I know can happen on the hour. And you get this kind of nonsense where it just it's a reversal pullback and goes it just wipes out the profit from the whole previous hour. And, and then you just shake your head and you say, well, what's the point? Better to just take what you got, like Howard said, money in the bank. Yeah, Juan, you did great. Fantastic. No, I think it's gonna pull all the way back. I've just seen it so many times. It doesn't mean that it will do that now, today, but I've seen it so many times. Just a complete bearish candle, wipe out everything from the previous hour. Yeah, good, Raj. Yeah, I get it. Juan. Pat yourself on the back. You made a really good trade today. Now that's what they call at the moment, looking at that candle, that's what they call a bearish engulfing. I used to know all of those candle formations, but I don't pay attention to them anymore. I even bought that book by Steve Nyson. Steve Nyson, back in 1979, released a book on candlestick formations. It's like 1,000 pages or something. I bought that book, and I used to have that on my desk when I was trading, looking at all the candle formations. He's the one that introduced the candlestick trading to the world. Developed it from the Japanese candlesticks that the Japanese used to use for rice trading, going back, several hundred years. So we have a bearish engulfing, at least while this candle is moving. It hasn't finished yet. Another 8 minutes actually, but this is definitely bearish looking. Go to the 1 hour chart. Yeah, you see, it's already a third of the way down from the previous hour. And if I was a gambling man, I would bet you that it's going to go all the way back to where we started. I've just seen it so many times. It just like clockwork. I don't know why it does that, but it's just almost predictable. That's why I always tell you guys at the change of the hour, change of the first hour, be cautious. Be cautious. And it's almost gone back to my original entry point, and it's going to do that. Wow. Look at that. All that profit would be gone if you didn't take action and protect the profit that you had. This is this is a classic textbook case of what gold usually does in the Asian Pacific session. Yeah, I make these notes here, and then I take a screenshot and I paste this into my trading journal. Every single trade I take. I can go back and look and see what I've done, mistakes I made, what maybe I can improve on. This is only 10 minutes of this candle. It's virtually what it would have wiped out everything I did for an hour, the previous hour. It's a funny old game, Forex. Funny old game. So we don't have any news tonight. No news coming out in the US session, only news on the pound 1 hour before London opens. There's some news on the UK. So if you guys are still trading and you trade the pound, be sure and check the news and watch that. Oh, forget about it. Kent, I'm not going to trade silver. Well, I don't never say never, eh? I traded silver a few years ago, but it was so volatile. I just didn't feel comfortable with. But yeah, it's on the move, absolutely, making big moves to the higher prices. So maybe I'll have a look at that. I'll put it on my chart for tomorrow, and we'll look at the chart and see what it's doing. I have a friend here in lives in Bangkok, and I see him several times a week. He trades silver, and he does very well with it. So that's what you trade, I take it, Kent. But thanks, buddy. But I am of the very strong opinion that you only should trade 1 or 2 credits, 1 or 2 instruments. Only trade 1 or 2 assets. And I trade gold all this year is all I've traded, and I'm gonna add 1 next year. I'll add either crude oil or platinum, or now that you mention it, I'll look at silver, but I haven't been even thinking about silver. I've been seriously thinking about platinum or crude oil. I'll be looking at one of those. So I'll be trading 2 instruments next year. But more than that, forget it. I just am of the strong opinion that you can't look at 10 different things, major pairs, minor pairs. I mean, if you can look at 10 different instruments and trade them well, okay. Mm, most people cannot. Mm. Yeah, whatever you do, be consistent. Don't be a strategy jumper. Don't jump from strategy to strategy. Find a strategy that works and stick with it and trust your strategy. Like this one here, I've used this the entire year. Yesterday I had a loss. Okay, well, sometimes you have a loss. It doesn't mean the strategy doesn't work. It works. It works very well. And most of my trades were controls. I was more than 80%. So don't jump around. Be consistent. Have set criteria that you follow and trust your strategy. Like Howard. Howard's waiting on a pullback to a certain price, and then he'll get in on the trade. Don't chase the candles. Don't be a candle chaser. Don't be a strategy jumper. So we got just a few more seconds on this candle here. Big bearish engulfing candle. And I would expect that the next candle will also be bearish. And the stochastic looks like it's starting to turn down. Yeah. Won't surprise me at all if we go back to 43.12 or perhaps even lower. Maybe down to support at 43.04. 43.03. That 43.04, that's my stop loss that I had when I opened the trade. Okay, guys, I'm gonna sign out here. It's been an hour and 15 minutes, and, I hope that all you guys do well. If you continue trading through the day, I wish you all the best. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like and share. I really appreciate that. It does help me, it helps the channel, and I'll see you again tomorrow, same time.